Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will see how to repurpose some old cardboard boxes to make these beautiful cloth covered storage bins.
For making this, you will require very few things. Firstly, obviously, you'll require a cardboard box. I'm going to be using a large size cardboard box because these storage boxes are to store my kids' toys and they have a lot of toys, so I require a spacious box. You can make this with a box of any size. Then you will require some cloth. Any clothes can be used. I'm going to be using a kurta. You can use a bed sheet, a t-shirt, or any cloth material that is at your disposal. Then you will require glue. I'm going to be using this Camlin glue, and this has a nozzle. This helps in easy application and avoids any mess. And then you'll require scissors. Large size scissors are preferable because they help in cutting the cloth more easily. Apart from this, if you want to use some sequins or if you want to use some colors, sketch pens, satin ribbon or something like that to decorate the box, you can use that. I'm going to be making a very basic version of a storage box that is more practical than aesthetic. Okay, so let us start. So this is the kurta that I'm going to be using to cover the box. Okay, I have slit it from the sides, okay, to use the entire length. You can also use a measuring tape to see if your cloth material is enough to cover the entire box. Here, since I'm going to be using a big box, I'm going to cover one longitudinal side using the length of the kurta, and the for the other side I'm going to be using the lining of the kurta. So this kurta had a lining material, so I have separated it. This is the lining material of the kurta, which is cut separately, and I'm going to be using this to cover any space that is uncovered because of the shortage of the length of the kurta. Okay, so let us start. So I'll start by cutting the lining material of the kurta. I'll be cutting this from both the sides so that we can use this to cover the shorter sides of the box. So this is the lining material from both the sides of the kurta, the front and the back. So I am going to be using this to cover the shorter side of the box. So before starting to cover, we have to cut these flaps. Okay. I am going to be using a knife. You can also use a cardboard cutter or a thermocol cutter to cut these flaps. The sides of the box have been cut. Let us start covering the box. Okay, so I'm going to take this lining material and just see its approximate width so that you don't end up wasting a lot of cloth. Okay, the rest of it you can use to cover the opposite side. So let us start by applying glue. I'm applying glue on all four sides of this rectangle. So this is the lining material. Place it in such a way that minimum cloth is wasted. You can also use a measuring tape and take exact measurements. So just press it along the corners. See that there are no folds. So after covering one side, you can flip the box over and start covering the other side. Here you need not be very particular about neatness. All these jagged edges can be chopped later, and we'll also be covering it with the main kurta material that is going to cover this face of the box. So now we'll start covering the other two sides. I'm going to be using the main material of the kurta for that. I have slit the kurta so that the front and the back portions are separate, which I'll be using to cover one of each side. Okay, So first make sure that the length is sufficient. Before starting with the material, just cover the entire surface area of the box that you are intending to make. So I'm going to be using this entire area, so I'm just cutting it. Again, apply glue on all four sides and then stick the cloth. Now all four sides have been covered. So now I'm going to stick the edges. This has to be done a little carefully so that they look neat. While trimming down this portion, I have been a little careful so that the edges are not jagged and it looks neat. So now I'm giving a small border to this plain surface by folding the cloth from the other surface over this. Now lastly the bottom surface. So this is the leftover cloth from the sides of the box. So this is more than sufficient to cover the bottom. So now we will just be sticking it. This edge is a little folded, so I'm going to be trimming this. For a very long time, I did not know that we can use regular glue to stick cloth. I used to think that we have to make a bag proportionate to the dimensions of the box, stitch it and then cover the box. And I realized that it was so very simple. So I thought, let me use all my old kurtas, bed sheets and all that to make these boxes to store my kids' toys. So this is the bottom surface. It is well covered. This is just like wrapping a gift box. So the extra portion I'm just sticking it. This is just making a fine border for the plain area. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Now only the top surface is left. So just like gift wrapping a box, we are going to fold all the edges inside and stick them. And after that I'm going to be using the border of the kurta to give a nice border to this box. I'm just going to fold these edges inside. This is the border of the kurta. I'll be sticking this over the edges.
And now this beautiful cloth covered storage box is ready.